All right, so today we're really going to dig into SaugaTalks.
Yeah.
This podcast that's all about breaking down AI and making it understandable for everyone.
Yeah, and what's cool about SaugaTalks is they don't just talk about like the tech stuff.
Right.
They actually look at how AI is changing things.
Yeah.
Like industries, the future, all that.
And they've been around for a while, right?
Yeah, since like 2021.
So they've got a pretty good back catalog of episodes.
63 episodes, yeah.
Oh, like 63.
Yeah, they've talked to everyone, AI experts, CEOs, like a who's who of the AI world.
That's impressive. And I noticed they have an episode called AI Here and Now. What's possible and what are the pitfalls?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Which seems super relevant right now with everything that's going on.
Totally. And it's great that they're not just hyping up AI. They're looking at the downsides too, which is important.
Yeah, because it's not all sunshine and roses, right?
Exactly. And they actually have a whole other episode about that too.
Oh, really?
Tackling the AI hot potato. Strategic insights, where they get into how businesses can use AI strategically, like the actual nuts and bolts.
Oh, wow. So it's not all just theoretical.
No, they give you actual advice.
Which I always appreciate.
Me too.
I like actionable stuff.
For sure. And they're not afraid to think big picture either.
Okay, like how so?
They have an episode called Thinking Like an AI Native Business.
AI native business. That sounds intense.
It is. They had Dr. Ify Pilarinu on that one.
Oh, wow. I know her. She's huge in fintech.
Exactly. She was talking about how businesses need to, completely rethink how they do things.
Like a total overhaul.
Pretty much. If you want to thrive in this AI world, you got to be ready to work alongside it.
Interesting. So it's not about man versus machine, but man with machine.
Exactly.
I like that.
And that takes a whole different set of skills, a whole different way of thinking.
Right, because it's not just about learning how to code or something, is it?
No, not at all. They had Isaac Sacolic on to talk about that, actually.
Wait, Isaac Sacolic? The Agile guy?
Yeah, that's him. He's big on digital transformation, and they did a whole episode on how AI can solve real-world business problems.
Okay, like what kind of problems are we talking about here? Give me an example.
Oh, everything from automating boring tasks to making better decisions, stuff like that.
Makes sense.
But they're honest about the challenges, too, like making sure your data is good, finding the right people to work with AI, even ethical stuff.
Right, because that's a whole other can of worms.
Lovely.
So it sounds like they're not shying away from the tough stuff.
Nope. They're diving right in.
I like that. And it's not just broad strokes about business either.
Right.
They get into how AI is shaking things up in different industries, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Healthcare marketing.
Yeah, they covered it all.
Finance, even social media, which is kind of wild to think about.
I know, right? Like AI writing your tweets.
I mean, it's already kind of happening, though, isn't it, with all those algorithms and stuff?
True that. But they had a really good episode. What was it called?
Which one?
Something about LinkedIn and TikTok and how to use AI on those platforms.
Beyond Likes, Strategies for Success with Generative AI on LinkedIn and TikTok.
Yeah, that's the one. They really got into the weeds on that, which I appreciated.
It's interesting because, those platforms are already dealing with so much, controversy with data privacy and how algorithms shape what we see.
Totally. And SaugaTalks doesn't shy away from that at all.
Good.
They really stress responsible AI use, even for social media.
Which is important because things move so fast in that world.
Exactly. You could get in trouble really quickly.
And it's not all about, the technical side of AI either.
Right. They talk a lot about the human side, too.
Yeah, they have that whole episode about the future of work, right?
The future of work.
Mm-hmm.
How AI is reshaping jobs and skills.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, what happens to us when the robots take over?
Which is a question everyone's asking, let's be honest.
Oh, for sure.
Am I going to have a job next year?
Right. And they actually had some interesting answers.
Really?
There's a whole panel discussion about, which jobs might disappear.
Oh, no.
But also, and I think this is important, what new jobs will be created?
Okay, so it's not all doom and gloom.
Exactly. It's about adapting, right?
So we need to learn how to, work with the robots, not against them. So what kind of skills are we talking about here?
Well, they talk a lot about creativity.
Okay, that makes sense.
Critical thinking, emotional intelligence, things that AI can't really do yet.
Phew, so there's still hope for us humans for now.
So they really cover it all, don't they?
They do.
From the practical stuff like how do I use AI in my job to the big picture, like ethical questions and the future of society.
Yeah, and they don't just gloss over the ethical stuff either, which is good. Yeah, because that's a big deal.
Huge.
I mean, we're talking about potentially life-changing technology here.
Exactly. And they dedicate a whole episode to, the potential for bias in AI algorithms.
Which is a huge problem. And how do we make sure that AI is used ethically?
Right, like we need rules, guidelines, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because once the genie's out of the bottle...
It's hard to put it back in.
Exactly. So we got to get it right from the start.
And SaugaTalks is really pushing for that, which I respect.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, they're encouraging listeners to really think critically about this stuff, Like, don't just accept it blindly.
Right.
Ask questions, demand transparency, that kind of thing.
It's about taking responsibility, right, for
Yeah.
how this technology gets used. So it's not just about, like, sitting back and letting the AI experts figure it out.
Right, it's on all of us.
Exactly. So for someone who's maybe, a little intimidated by all this talk of algorithms and machine learning and all that, is SaugaTalks a good place to start?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, good.
They don't get bogged down in the technical jargon, which I appreciate.
Right, because sometimes it feels like you need a PhD just to understand what they're talking about.
Seriously. But SaugaTalks does a really good job of, explaining things simply.
Yeah.
Using examples everyone can relate to.
And they're engaging, right?
Oh, yeah, totally.
They don't put you to sleep.
No, not at all. They actually make it fun to learn about this stuff.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, they're not just like lecturing at you.
Right.
It feels like you're part of the conversation.
I like that. So if we had to sum up, the biggest takeaway from SaugaTalks.
How would you say?
What would I say? I think it's that the future of AI, it's not set in stone.
Right.
It's something that we're all creating right now.
Exactly. Like, it's not some inevitable thing that's just going to happen to us.
Right.
We have a say in how this plays out.
Through the choices we make, the conversations we have.
And this podcast, SaugaTalks, it's like they're giving us a front row seat to those conversations.
Yes, exactly. It's a chance to listen and learn from the experts.
And then form your own opinions. Decide what you believe.
So that we can all help shape the future of AI in a way that benefits everyone.
Exactly. Ethically, responsibly, all of that.
Well said. So if you're interested in AI, and let's be honest, who isn't these days?
Right. Check out SaugaTalks. It's a really great way to get up to speed on all things AI.
Definitely recommend it.
And, who knows? Maybe it'll even inspire you to, create something amazing with AI.
The possibilities are endless.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about this whole thing, right?
For sure.
The future is unwritten.
Yeah, it's a blank page.
And we all have the power to write our own stories with AI. That's it for today's deep dive, but we'll be back soon with another episode exploring the cutting edge of tech and culture. Until then, stay curious.